Thank you all for coming. My name is Jessie, and I'm from the morning public speaking class. But I had an incident this morning, so now I'm here today, and I'm here to present risky business and taking more risks in your everyday life. So, this is me last year on National Signing Day, and of course choosing a college is a huge risk for any senior in high school, but especially being an athlete and someone that wanted to get out of her comfort zone and go away for college, it was a risk that I really had to think about a lot. And although it was tough to make, I traveled 2,488 miles away from my home in Southern California to come to Co, and I am living proof that making a risk in your life will be beneficial to who you are as a person and will really enhance your life. So, taking more risks 101. There's a need. People today need to take more risks to live a very eventful and spontaneous life. Why? Because you need to live more spontaneously so that you can enhance your quality of life and be able to evolve into a better and more well-rounded person. And the practicality, how can this be done in everyday life? I'll go further into that, but it's really easy. You don't have to make huge risks every day, but just by taking small risks, you can adapt qualities so that you can learn to implement bigger risks into your life. So taking more risks in life. Risks bring about change in your life. They lead to extraordinary lives, and they lead to no regrets. How do you know if you don't like something, or you're not going to be good at something, or that you don't want to do something, if you don't take the risk and do that thing? Risks challenge you as a person. I can 100% say that I am a better person today after making the risk to come here to Co than I was at this point last year, because I've learned so much about myself and how to develop as my own individual away from home that I'm just a more well-rounded and better person because of the risks that I took. Andy Andrews from New York Times states that if you want greatness, it will not come through average or unsatisfactory means, but through jumping through unforeseen hoops to achieve things that you never thought were possible. I never thought that I'd leave my comfortable bubble in California to come here to where I'm freezing, but I did, and I think I'm a better person for it. Continued. 70% of the people that I interviewed in our public speaking class commented that taking risks in their everyday life has been beneficial and that it's actually helped them, and it comes with a positive outcome. Risks force you to take advantage of opportunities, to try new things, and to live outside of your comfort zone. You don't want to live just an everyday average life. You only get one life, so we need to make the best of it and be able to look back on the day that we die and say, hey, I did everything I could and I took advantage of all of my opportunities. Going to Co is a personal positive for me, like I've been explaining. I just feel like taking this risk has been very beneficial to who I am. Okay, how to take more risks. Like I said earlier, you don't have to make huge decisions every day, like going to college or doing something out of the ordinary and gigantic, but just being open to smaller opportunities, like maybe trying a new club on campus or eating a new food item in the caf, or maybe talking to that cute boy or girl that you're interested in. They can all turn out for the better. You need to walk the walk. Instead of just saying, I'm not going to like that, or it's not going to help me, you need to actually do it to find out if that is the case, because you may be surprised with what you find out after you take the risk. According to Forbes, people underestimate their ability to handle the outcome of a risk and stick to the status quo without ever trying to pursue the risk. This goes back to living an average life. You don't want to just fly under the radar and live an everyday life. You want to live an excellent life and one that you can be excited about. You want to look forward to your job and to your next day. So just taking risks to pursue things and get out of the status quo. By practicing taking smaller risks, you'll be able to better take the bigger risks when they do come. And then also my favorite is depending on a friend to take risks with you. Hold your friend accountable, let a friend hold you accountable, do things together, so then you have someone there to create a more comfortable environment for you to achieve that risk in. I'm very type A. I like my comfort zone, I like being organized, I like my routine of life, but by breaking that mold, which I'm encouraging all of you to do today, it can really turn out for the better in your life and really make your quality of life better. Now there could be an opposition. 30% in my public speaking class said that taking a risk turned out for the negative for them, and that sometimes risks don't always happen. And although that is the case, a 1997 survey conducted by Life magazine involving 25 to 50-year-old people states that people who take more risks are more content and satisfied with their lives. That is because they don't have regrets. They don't look back and think, what if I did that? They say, I knew that I did that and this is what happened because of it. And even though maybe not taking a bunch of risks has gotten you this far in your life, Imagine how much better your life will be and how much more excited you'll be about your life if from this day on you continue to take risks and you try implementing that into your life. Practicality. Is this a really doable thing, taking risks? It is. You have to look at our campus and the world around us as an opportunity to take risks every day. Like what I mentioned, just little things by joining clubs or talking to new people or maybe taking a challenging course that you weren't necessarily interested in. That can lead to a whole nother pathway and a whole nother opportunity for you to develop as a person and become into who you were meant to be. By recognizing these little everyday scenarios, it implements better practice so that you can take on the bigger risks, like I mentioned earlier. I continue to take risks at Co by doing a bunch of different things. I join clubs, I talk to people. Next semester I'm taking an acting class, which I never thought I'd be doing, but that could lead me down a different path and I never would have seen myself in if I hadn't taken that risk to begin with. Taking risks is beneficial to your life. It helps you develop into a more well-rounded person that can look back 30 years from now and say, I'm glad that I did that because it taught me this, or I'm glad that I did that because it led me to this. It forces you outside of your comfort zone and it forces you to evolve as a person, and I'm living proof of that with my testimony for Co. If I hadn't come to Co, if I would have gone to a community college back home or just a college in California in general, I really don't think I would have evolved into who I am today. I would have depended on my parents a little too much. I wouldn't have turned to good friends for help. You know, it's just something crazy about making one small decision that could change your life for the better. So that's why I think you all need to take more risks every day. So these are just pictures of me really excited about being at Co and then my team. Because going back to personal testimony, making that decision to come here, that huge risk that I never thought I would take, has given me the best college experience I could ever imagine. So even though it is a risk to begin taking risks, how do you know that the risk isn't worth it if you're not willing to take that risk? So take risks so that you don't look back and think, what if? Are there any questions? Yes.
How would you advise someone to understand the difference between a risk that might seem healthy and a risk that might be too dangerous?
Right. You know, I think it's different for everyone, like what they consider healthy and not healthy, but if they're planning to risk their life, then that's something different that I think they need to consult a physician or a doctor with, and I would probably direct them to someone more qualified. But there's an obvious difference between something that will harm someone whereas risks that won't harm someone. So like a healthy risk, choosing a college or talking to someone is healthy and it won't harm anyone. I mean, the worst that could happen is, you know what, I made the wrong decision and it didn't lead me down the path that I expected, but it's okay, we can regather ourselves. But a dangerous risk is something that will harm someone. So I think just differentiating between what will be harmful and what won't be harmful. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you're talking more about stepping out of your comfort zone rather than, I mean, risks a lot of times are associated with, you know, something that could seriously, you know, I know.
Right, yeah.
So you're
I'm
just
talking
more
about like taking life by the horns and really jumping into your life instead of letting it pass you by. Because we do have a certain amount of control in how our life turns out, and I think that a lot of people are just content with letting life happen, and I think we need to make those things happen in our life to live a better life. Anything else? All right, thank you.